Thank you for listening and joining me for another interview with DJ Nocturna. My guests today are New York City post-punk duo, Frenchy and the Punk. I got Samantha Stephenson, and who is the lead vocalist and percussionist, and the guitarist composer Scott Helland. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday
Thank you for
evening for
having
Thanks
us.
for
you,
having us.
morning for us.
Yes.
I think this is my third cup of coffee. Because you know how it is, right? You wanna, I don't know. I look forward to the mornings, and I like to get my coffee and sit down and have a chat. And it's when I'm really awake. And then usually my guest is okay with that because they're all dark people, so they like the evening interviews.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right, right. Yeah.
For
Yeah,
me, I'm okay
I'm
with one.
familiar with the coffee ritual. I am very much a part of that as well.
Yeah, but thank you for joining me. I know you guys are coming out with a new album pretty soon, October
Yep.
28th. It's called Zen Ghost, your
Yes,
latest LP. I think it's your seventh one.
yes,
And then I know you released two singles from that album already. And big shout out, of course, to Shauna from Shameless
yes.
Promotion PR, who's like she's got like some of the best, I swear to God, best clients. Really. Yeah.
Oh,
And I really enjoy the music that comes out of every single artist that I interview, including you guys. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
very
Um,
cool.
so before we get to that, for those people that my listeners here, I'm all the way in Hawaii, by the way. So tell us about tell us about your music. Like, how would you describe your music to someone um who may not be familiar?
Sometimes I first off say it's like folk punk cabaret. We have a lot of different influences. Um, I used to play more punk rock music, way back in the day, as they say. So it has that energy. But Samantha was born in France. That kind of brings in almost a cabaret European vibe to our music. I'm also playing with an acoustic guitar or acoustic electric hybrid. So that almost brings in kind of a folk feel to it. So that folk punk cabaret kind of works, of course, you know,
Mhm.
fit well within the steampunk community and cabaret kind of shows.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Kind of like dark cabaret. Yeah.
And then of course, that mix that together and it does really kind of have this like post punk kind of a little bit of a dark, it's like dark folk. That was a lot of our influences in the 80s.
and I know you guys probably answered this so many times, but I figure I'll ask it again just for the people who are probably wondering, how did you guys collaborated and came up with the name Frenchy in the Pub? And now I know you're French, Samantha's French, but
Hmm.
raised in the U.S. and England,
That's right.
and
Yep.
and Scott is the punk.
Yes.
Yeah, it really, we went through a couple different name ideas, but French and Punk just fit so well, and I think we liked it because it's like a cabaret name, or a vaudeville name, Frenchy
Mm.
and the Punk, and it is really just that Samantha was born in France, and I used to play punk rock, hardcore punk rock back in the early '80s, so it is
It's
us
really
to a T.
it's spot on who we are,
Yeah,
basically.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
how
mean,
did you guys
I
like
mean,
meet?
We actually met in 1998 through temp jobs. I was fueling my
Oh
art
yeah.
and creative projects temping. I left the whole corporate scene. I had enough of living a life that made no sense to me. And so I made a commitment that this is it. I'm going to lead a creative life and I'm just going to take temp jobs. I won't stay at a temp job more than 2 weeks at a time because I just didn't like the environments. And Scott was temping to fuel his music. And I just happened to land in the company he was temping in. And 2 weeks turned into a little longer.
Yeah, isn't that ironic? I mean, you meet somewhere that you don't even like to be in, but you meet that person
Exactly.
right.
for the purpose of having a new beginning. So you kind of
Yeah.
like ended that thing, right?
Yep.
When you met him, did you end that part of your life to start to come
Yeah,
more
it's really where when I made that commitment, because it was very hard because I had always wanted to do just have a creative life. I just wanted to do art, and it was so hard because there's so much fear involved in that, and I was also not encouraged to do that as a sort of a
yeah.
life choice. And I was instilled with a fear that, oh, if you do anything creative, you'll be poor for the rest of your life. That kind
Yeah,
of thing.
that's a really good point. I think a lot of people are stuck in that mindset,
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
this is what everybody's doing, I'm making money here. If I do this, then I'll be like, I won't know what the outcome. I could be this, I could be, it's not stable, I guess you can say.
Right. Yeah.
exactly. And I think that, I mean, it works for people who really need that sense of stability. But when I kind of moved past that fear, or actually it was really when I realized that life made no sense to me, that what I was living just made absolutely no sense. So I had to make a commitment to lead a creative life. And it's and passing through that and making that commitment, it's like everything just started to fall into place. I met Scott so quickly after that, actually. And then our creative collaboration just happened so fast. And it's just like my life took on this whole other form. And it was almost magical in the way that just things just seemed to come
Yeah, that's a beautiful
right
story.
into
Thank you
my
for sharing
path.
that. That's such a
It was
beautiful
absolutely
story.
incredible. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because I think that's kind of an inspiration for anybody listening, that you guys can do it. Anybody can do it if they really put their mind, their heart, their mindset to it, and their belief system, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Because I think there are things that are deep inside of us that we want to do, and there's a reason why we are drawn to things or that we're good at things. It's because we're meant to do them. It's very simple.
Oh
And
yeah.
then if you're meant to do something, then it's like, how can the universe not conspire to somehow like
Wow.
foster that and nurture that. Um,
Well,
yeah.
ironically, today is like the full moon in Aries, which is like the termination of, getting rid of things, and starting a new beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's perfect
Yeah.
interview and perfect conversation. I mean,
And
I
I'm an
couldn't be
Aries,
more
so
inspired.
hey.
Yeah. Somebody's there.
It seems like you guys are a magical duo. I feel the connection that you guys have. I mean, you obviously been together for like as a what, 17 years, something like
Yeah.
that,
As
maybe more.
Yeah,
as a musical duo for 17 years and partners for 24 almost.
20.
Wow,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can actually. I mean, I know you guys went through. I was listening to some of your interviews. I know you guys went through some times in your life when you guys were living in this studio, um, and that's really hard. I mean, I tell you, that's really hard to actually just live there, and you can hear the other side, you can hear the noise and all that, and then
Yeah.
it's sacrifice, patience,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that you really have to kind of work out, if you can deal with sacrificing certain things in your life to be able to
Mhm.
lead that creative life, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you guys did that for like a
For a
year.
year.
We did that for,
Yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah.
lived in, and basically we lived in a rehearsal studio in Manhattan, right in Times Square. And it was a building with 12 floors, 6 rooms each floor, all bands rehearsing all times of the day and night. So that's where we slept. There's no bathrooms there. We had to go to the gym and shower and do all that stuff. It was
Wow.
pretty hard living. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I
we
I
had a
know.
very like clear vision. We had a very clear intention that we were doing that so that we could just save up to get a place so that we could do this full time. So we were working full time, living in these conditions, and just saving up our money to be able to just finally do a creative life.
Especially in New York City, which is like, expensive living,
Yeah.
apartments and
Exactly.
condominiums, or
But I
I
have
mean,
to,
what year was that?
That was in 99, I
yeah,
guess.
99.
Even back then it was like costly.
Well, we didn't pay any rent because it was Scott's rehearsal
Rehearsal. Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
So he was renting it to other bands. So the bands that were paying, to use the space were actually covering the rent. So we had no rent for the whole year.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, that's the way to do it. I
Yeah.
mean, that takes a lot of. I mean, that's like, oh, what am I gonna do? I gotta. How you have all these, like, I don't know. I'm a Taurus moon, so I have a very difficult time letting go of things. Doing those kind of things. But yeah, what are your? I made it a point to like ask all my guests what are their astrology, what are their sun signs.
Ah, interesting. Do you know that
Mine
stuff? I
mine
don't
is,
know.
well, I'm Aries and my moon is in Capricorn,
There you go.
and
And I'm a
he's
Capricorn.
I don't know
You
what
know?
you. I think your moon is in Sagittarius. I think I can't remember.
Okay.
Oh, this so your sun sign, Scott?
The sun sign is Capricorn.
Capricorn, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Capricorn. Okay, okay.
My
And you're in
moon is from
Aries.
Miami.
Wow. So I see that Aries in you. Boy, it's a full moon in Aries today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I can see the Aries in you, the fire and all that, just to do what you do. So yeah, I need to be more Aries like. I'm a Sagittarius.
Yeah.
I'm a Sagittarius. I got that fire in me, but
That's
I got
right.
I got the moon in Taurus, that's the one that's kind of hindering that kind of more stability stated kind of thing.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
got a Scorpio ascendant. So yeah, that's the dark side.
Wow. Yeah. Nice. That's nice.
Well, I think that Scorpio thing is the one that's causing problems for me, to be honest.
Uh, It's funny
Because
because sometimes the element like the our sun signs or like with the element that's attached to it can actually be what our most challenging areas can be. Because even though I'm a fire sign, I feel like sometimes it can be the challenge, the fire of, it's starting and like but staying also within something, because fire signs do like to start things, but it's the
yes, they do. They're
it's
amazing.
continuing and for example like Capricorn, you're like such an earthy kind of sign, but there's definitely some fire in
Well,
you.
you're both the starter in the elements. Capricorn is like they're also the starter. They're faster than the other earth signs. The
Yeah,
slowest
and
earth
we're both horned.
That's right.
that's why, yeah, that's why. I mean, I'm amazed that you guys get along, but there's other elements in your chart. There's other elements in your chart, of course, right? It's
Well,
not all that one. Yeah.
my moon is in Capricorn, so
There, that's it. So you love him. You feel wonderful with him. It's a feeling,
yes,
right?
that's right.
So you know a little bit about astrology.
Samantha
Yes.
does, yeah.
Yeah. I've always really been into all of that stuff. Like even, as a kid, I was very into magic and
Yeah.
yeah, I spent a lot of time delving into that whole realm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's great. I mean, I feel that too. I mean, I feel that you guys that you have that magical thing going on. So
Yeah. Actually, our symbol, the bat frog.
you know what? I was just gonna ask you that question. I was looking at my notes. Oh my God, it
I
must be
can hear it.
must be that full moon in Aries like
That's
working its
right.
magic right now. I was gonna ask you about the bat frogs. I know you have a website, bat frogs. Is it
Yes.
batfrogs.com?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
okay?
our merchandise site. Because I always loved bats and Scott loved frogs as a child, and they're both very like magical creatures in a way, and they
They
all
are,
have
yeah.
that rebirth and transformation symbolism, which we really love. And that's, we put those two together, and that became our logo. Actually, that's his drawings, Scott's drawings. Yeah.
Oh, so those inspired designs in there, is that your drawings?
Yeah, all the pen and
Oh,
ink.
okay.
and stuff
Oh,
like that,
okay.
and then
All
we
right.
collaborate on all
I,
of
I I like how you make the frog a little upside down, like a bat.
Yeah,
Yes.
sometimes we have it
Symbol.
upside down.
Yeah, because I'm a bat too, and now I'm beginning to like reptiles. I have this thing now for this bearded dragons from they come from Australia, but they're really cute. The
Yeah,
bearded
they're
dragons,
cool,
they have
they're
this
cool
like
little creatures. Yeah.
unfortunately we can't have them in Hawaii. We can't have any of those. I wish we could, but yeah, because of our ecosystem. Yeah,
Mm.
but they're really cute. I've been seeing them all over the internet, and I'm just watching them. They're kind of. I mean, they don't. I mean, they can bite, of course, but yeah, I mean, they're cute things. So
They're
I can
mystical
totally-
looking. They look like little dragons, basically.
I know, yeah, they're cute, and they just have this really cute face. There's one I'm following, and he's like putting he's like eating on the table. I don't know how the person. I mean, it's just amazing how they get these things. I mean, you get stuck in these phone thing, right? You want to just put the phone down because it just takes too much of your time. But
Right. Animals are taking over the internet.
Right.
so I really like how you put that together. So you can actually be called Frenchy and the Punk or Bat Frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I like how you put that together. So I know you're all dressed up, and I was gonna dress up in a suit, like you just mentioned, but I know you guys just had a video, right? You want to tell
Yeah,
us about that?
the whole day today out in New York, we've been filming a video for our next single, which is If the World Doesn't End First. I think, when is that out? November?
It's like a video premiere will be in November. I
Okay,
think
yeah,
it's
that's part of this. That's part of the tracks from the latest album
Yep.
Yes.
that is going to be released October 28th. It's
From the
called
latest
Zen
album.
Ghost. Oh, there it is. Zen Ghost of EA Recordings. Yay. Yeah, I'm excited. You know,
We are
how does
too.
this, yeah, how does this album differ from the others?
I feel like it's a little bit it's a little darker record. We've always had different moods and feels on the record, but we wrote this, most of this or all of this, during the pandemic, like in 2021. Of course, we're still in a pandemic, but I think it's, that probably, definitely affected writing, and it's a little bit darker. There's more atmosphere in the songs. More, a lot of times we've done very upbeat kind of kind of cabaret rock kind of stuff, where this has more atmosphere and room for Samantha to really shine vocally.
Yeah, I see. I hear that.
And this whole record seems to have more of a theme lyrically.
Yeah, it's definitely
thematically.
more mid-tempo. And the whole idea behind it, because the earlier records, a lot of the lyrical content is really a celebration of walking my true path finally in life. So a lot of it is that, and also love songs. And this record, it felt different, and I really kind of delved into the idea of mind phantoms, and just the experiences that we've had in the past that can sometimes haunt us and come up, and kind of mind or soul phantoms, maybe even things that we thought we had transcended that may suddenly come back to haunt us, for whatever reason. So it's that idea that kind of works through the whole record. So there's references to phantoms and ghosts and specter
Memories.
and memories, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, people want to check this out. It's actually on your Bandcamp page. I mean, they can see the songs, but they can't hear every single thing until it's released. But you
Right.
get a kind of an idea of the theme.
Yes. Yeah.
And this
Like
is all written during.
this first single, Mon Souvenir, which souvenir in French is memory. And so that was, had to do with that. And the Come In and Play, the second single, that's really kind of like a seance theme track. That idea of not going out, but going in, like coming in and play, kind of and getting in touch with maybe that whole other realm, and, spirits and stuff like that.
Wow, that's beautiful. And I know this album was mastered at the Cage. My friend Martin Bowes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love Martin. He's been to Hawaii.
Oh,
Cool.
wow.
I've always loved Attrition since for years, and I always wanted to meet him, bring him to Hawaii. He came here. One of the nicest guys ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Down to earth English
Great.
man.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
wonderful man. Yeah, he
Easy
wants
to
to
work with.
come back. Yeah, he wants to come back here. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing him again.
We want to go to Hawaii too.
Yeah.
Right, who doesn't want to go to Hawaii?
Right. Yeah.
Totally.
I was just in New York not that long ago, maybe like last year. Always loved New York,
Yeah.
and I know it's expensive living there, so it's one of those things. It's like Hawaii. Hawaii's expensive too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
different thing, I mean, yeah, I mean, you got everything.
We hope to meet Martin, because we're going to be playing in the UK in December.
Oh yeah, Well, you tell him hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he's a busy guy. Amazing. And, his voice just, he did I have a little bit of his voice like talking, and he's like just so dark. Yeah, and I love that about him. Yeah. And another person I'm kind of familiar with, I haven't met her yet. She's one of my friends from Facebook, Alice.
Yes.
Alice Steeple did all the
Yeah.
photographs.
She did the cover photo. Yeah, which are all really beautiful.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
great.
so-
Yeah. She has a beautiful style.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've seen her posts and stuff like that. But yeah, so maybe I'll reach out to her and say hello. You
Yeah.
have all these friends on Facebook, right? And sometimes you don't have time to actually just go out there. There are too many. Everybody just come and go, and we're all busy and everything like that. But it
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah, Alice is very cool. We did a whole shoot in New York City for the like half the day, walking around different
I know I
locations.
saw those pictures. Are
Photos, stuff.
all those pictures taken by her?
Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot
Oh,
of
Yep.
them.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to credit her if I use the photo on the promotion thing. But
Yeah.
it looks like you guys were also on tour yesterday. Did it start yesterday?
We've had shows all year
Yeah.
long. We have a bunch more for the rest of the year, and then in the U.S. and then we go to UK. But we just played last night in Poughkeepsie, New York. Next weekend we're doing a fairy festival in West Virginia, and the weekend after that we're playing at a nightclub in Nyack, New York, Prohibition River, with our friends Black Rose Burning.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I know you guys perform live with some of these Dead Can Dance's Peter Ulrich. How was
Yeah.
what was that like?
That was super fun. He joined us actually for a show in New York City, and also we did a show with him in the UK when we were doing a steampunk festival up in Lincoln
Yep.
called the Asylum. He joined us for a song. Actually, he does percussion with us on the song Dark Carnival, which is like
Oh,
a very kind of really
right
cool
then.
sort of dark
Okay.
groove, and he was he joined us on drum for that.
Oh, that's so cool. Is that okay, Dark Carnival. Wow, okay.
There's
Yeah,
actually
so
there's a YouTube video of that show when yeah.
yeah, I did an interview with Lisa Gerard
Oh,
recently.
nice.
I'm a big fan of Dead Can Dance, of course. Who isn't, right? I mean, they're
I
just
know. I
Right.
used to
Yeah.
put that album on repeat. Oh my gosh, and just listen
yeah.
over and over.
I mean, I'm a child of the '80s. I mean, '80s was just like a wonderful time. Especially living in England during that
Yeah,
time. The post-punk movement. It was just amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like it's wonderful. I mean, you guys are on tour, and the album release is coming up. Well, one of the things I wanted to say is I love your costumes. Where did you get your different costumes? Like Scott, I saw you one time wearing this it's kind of like a military, the Hussar military it's like an adamant kind of jacket.
Oh yeah. Actually, you know
Oh,
what? I got that jacket in Canterbury, England. We were on
Oh
tour
yeah,
and
I
happened to
figured.
walk
Yeah.
by a vintage clothing place, and they had this little jacket in there, and like, come on, it was cool, and thought it would kind of fit, and it fit perfectly. But that's where we get most of our stuff. We find it
In
at
England? Oh yeah.
vintage stores and stuff around either in
yeah.
England or here in the U.S. Yeah, and we kind of
Yeah.
construct stuff on our own.
When I did an interview with Adamant, okay, he talked about that jacket, the Hussar military jacket. He said that Michael Jackson called him one night, just out of the blue. So he answered the phone. Hey, this is Michael Jackson, and he didn't believe it because he can't believe Michael Jackson's calling him. And Michael Jackson wanted to know about his jacket.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That's why Michael Jackson kind of has the same kind of jacket because he got it from. So Adamant is and of course that goes back to like the other Vivian Westwood. Their the sex store with
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
So connected. Yeah. So I always loved that jacket. I always wanted to get one. It's kind of
Power.
hot. It's kind of hot to wear here. I wouldn't wear it here, but I'll go
Right,
somewhere.
right.
Yeah, because they're like really thick wool. Yeah, it's like yeah. I mean, the one that you have is
It's pretty,
thick.
yeah. I couldn't play live in it. But,
I was
yeah.
such
I
a
know
fan
it's
of
really, yeah.
Adam.
It's there's so many different ones. I think I saw them online somewhere, and yeah, I was hoping to have a thinner one, but with good quality, but still thinner
Yeah.
material instead of the hot one. But it's great.
We tend to change our outfits all the time. We kind of go with the flow. We have a certain things that we like to wear, but we kind of look different all the time. We look different today for the video shoot.
I know. I see that. That's why I'm amazed at somebody. I like your outfit too, Samantha.
It's great.
I mean, I love that.
I had a tie on before, but
Samantha's also designed some vests for me, which are really cool too.
Oh,
Amazing seamstress.
because I know you guys have all these different talents. I know you're besides musicians. I know you're an artist. Samantha, I know you're a dancer.
I do. Yeah, I started dance. I always say that was my first love. I started dance
Mhm.
very, very early, when I was 4, and did ballet and jazz and tap and modern, and like well into my late 20s. And I got into the whole hip hop dance scene, and like I was part of a hip hop group, and we used to perform in Boston. And yeah, so dance was really, yeah, I loved it. But I stopped, and I wasn't doing any performance. I had started really doing the painting, mostly sculpture, actually, sculpture and then painting. And it was really from meeting Scott that I got back on stage because of this guy. And ironically, you were drawing very early,
Yeah,
right?
and I stopped drawing for a long time, and I kind of started drawing again because of
This
girl.
me. So it's like he brought me back on stage, and I brought him back to
Wow.
drawing.
I mean, you guys are living the life.
Yeah, it's pretty
because you
sweet.
made that move.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, that was the best
Yeah.
decision we ever made.
Well,
Definitely.
Scott has always done music ever since you were like
13.
10,
I've been playing in clubs since I was 13. They used to have to sneak me in the club. I'd play the show.
In New York? Is that in
out.
New York City?
I grew up in Massachusetts, Western
Okay.
Mass.
Yeah.
So I started playing in hardcore punk bands. I was in a band called The Outpatients. I was in a band called Deep Wound, and that was all more hardcore stuff like Black Flag, Minor Threat, that kind of realm in that era of music. Yeah, I was a bass player back then too.
So is there anything else, like, besides I know you're touring, besides that, anything else in the future, like any future plans or
Yeah, next year we're gonna have a full schedule for shows to kind of promote and the Zen Ghost record, and yeah, that's a big part of it, doing all that kind of stuff. I also have a solo instrumental guitar act called Guitar Me of One, which is kind of like spy surf type music. So I'll probably do another one of those records somewhere in between Frenchy and Punk shows. So we love to create and just stay busy, do shows and keep writing songs. So
yeah,
we are just
and you guys share the songwriting, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Scott usually is, working on a riff or something, and then I can tell if there's lyrics attached. Like I can tell when he's doing it, and like, okay, keep doing that riff.
That's the moon in Capricorn.
Oh yeah.
The connection, right?
Yeah, totally.
And Samantha writes all the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's weird because he'll be playing something, and I can tell that there's no lyrics attached. So that that's like, no, that's an instrumental.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
we'll keep always compiling ideas, and because we're visual artists as well, we're so busy with the music, but also creating all of the imagery that we have for our merchandise and
shirts,
so all of that
videos
stuff.
I know,
very, very DIY. It's such that punk rock thing to come up with, just get out there, book the shows, make the flyers, make the shirts, do the designs, write the songs.
Yeah. We have our
DIY.
hands in it all.
Yeah.
So your website for people, they want to check out your products. It's batfrogs.com.
Batfrogs.com. Or also you can go to frenchyandthepunk.com too.
Frenchy and the Punk. There's a link there, right? frenchyandthepunk.com. And also
there's the the links to all of the Bandcamp. People can find our stuff on Bandcamp,
Spotify.
And Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff. We're all over the place. Yeah.
So this is your seventh studio album, Zen Ghost. I mean, I love that title too, Zen Ghost.
Thanks.
Great title. And then this is coming out again October 28th, and this interview will air the following day, so it's perfect. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, is there anything else that we need to mention? So if you
anything else, check out after you're watching this, listening to this interview, check out our YouTube page. We're always doing videos.
Yes.
We kind of film and edit all our own stuff for the most part. And and come see us live. We love to play live, and it's always a fun
Yeah, I
time.
mean, they're on tour. You guys are on tour, so people want to check that. You may go to your website, check out the live performances on various places. Actually, you
There's
guys be
nothing like seeing people live for sure.
Yeah.
and then you're going to Manchester. No, you're going to in December. You're going to London.
Yes.
Yeah, London and Exeter, and some more dates will pop up too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I need to go to there. I need to go and
Well,
see. more
December
people.
2nd, we're in Camden, London. December 10th, we're in Exeter.
Exeter.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
hopefully, I think there's like other dates are going to be coming through. So if people want to maybe sign up for the email list, which you can do through the website as well. Yeah.
The Exeter show, we're playing with Professor Elemental, who's super. He's
Yeah.
a great guy, kind of chap hop, steampunk, hip hop,
Yes.
rap guy. He's great.
And then the London show we're doing with a band called Beyond Victoria and a band called Flesh Tetris.
And they are
Yeah.
members from the Men That Will Not Be Blamed for Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. A lot of stuff going on. You know, thank you guys for joining me. And if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. It's a great interview. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having us,
having
yeah.
us.
Let me just turn this off. One moment.